Does your table collect junk? Because mine does. Do you have trouble getting rid of sentimental items? Because I do. And that's what today's video is about. I picked one small area in my house to clean and declutter. This project took me over 4 hours to complete. At one point, I really felt like giving up, but I'm so glad that I didn't. I'm really happy with the end result. Maybe you have a project that you're working on and maybe you feel like giving up, but don't give up. You can do it. You can achieve your goal. And when you see the end result, it will all be worth it. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hello and welcome back. Today is going to be my hardest declutter yet. And that's because that cedar chest contains memories from when my kids were small. It's got baby clothes, it's got pictures, it's got school papers, artwork that they made, and it is completely full. And the thing is, that's not all of the memories that I kept of them. I've got stuff scattered throughout this entire house, memories of when they were little. I held on to so much of it because I'm a mom. I'm supposed to be sentimental. I'm supposed to want to hold on to every piece of artwork that they made and every piece of baby clothing that they wore. I'm supposed to want to hold on to them and everything that was theirs. And I felt that if I didn't hold on to it, somehow that equated to me not loving my kids. But that's just not true. Our brains tend to lie to us to tell us these types of things, that if we don't hold on to it, that means we don't love our kids. And I was actually afraid that if I got rid of it, that my kids would even think that I didn't love them. I've been decluttering for a while, and when I finally decided I wanted to go deep with the decluttering, I asked both of my kids, I said, if I get rid of this, are you going to think that I don't love you anymore? And both of my kids just thought that was the most ridiculous question. They said, no, Mom, we know you love us. It's just stuff. So today I'm going to be going through that chest, and I actually want to get rid of that chest because it's actually broken. You can't tell it from looking at it, but if you raise the lid up, the back is actually splitting. So I have been working in my basement, but I'm getting ready to shift gears a little bit. My husband, he's like, nobody ever sees the basement, work on the upstairs. And it's almost September and the holidays are just around the corner, so I want to go ahead and try to declutter some of the upstairs of my house. And I do want to go ahead and clean off this table. I'm sick and tired of looking at it. All of us come in this house and we just dump everything on that table. So some of that just needs to be rehomed. It needs to go where it belongs. Some of it can be decluttered, and we'll get that table cleared off, and then I'll have space to go through the cedar chest down there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start working on this table and see if I can't get some of this stuff where it belongs. This stuff shouldn't even be in the house. It's for trucks. Batteries. Medicine needs to go put up. So I have no idea who this belongs to. My son's friends come over all the time. I'll throw it in to wash it, and then I will put it into my pile of I don't know. So these are little clips for tomato plants, and my husband had bought several of these and he hasn't used them. I'm going to go ahead and put these into my declutter box, and if he decides he wants them when he goes to sell stuff, he'll pull them back out. But I'm going to stick them in the declutter box for now. And one of the things I've started doing is keeping a box in between the kitchen and the dining room, but I also have a box in the living room and my bedroom. That way, while I'm cleaning, if I find something I want to declutter, I can just kind of toss it in there. And then when it gets full, I can just close the box up and stick it with my quarantine pile. In my box already, I have a couple of bags. A set of cookie cutters for Christmas. A metal tin. And a little water bottle. So that's what that was already in here and already sitting in here in the kitchen. And now we're going to add to it. These were programs for my daughter's wedding, and they weren't all given out at the wedding. So these can actually go into the cardboard recycling. Another bag. My daughter had gotten a present, and the bag's still here. We're going to go ahead and declutter this. These look like car parts, so they don't need to sit here. A pair of my son's shoes. He's stuck on the kitchen table. They just need to go put back into his room. More car parts. Some jewelry and bead glue, and we don't need it. We're not going to use it. This is going. Dog food I've got a place for. So this is some card paper. We had bought a lot of this for a project for my daughter's wedding, but the project kind of failed. So we have all this extra card paper left over, and it's past the date to return it. So now we kind of just have to eat the cost of it. And I'm going to declutter this because we're never going to use this type of paper again. So here we have an empty shoe box. I did a video talking about how the shoes I wore to the wedding hurt my feet and they were going back into the declutter pile, but I never got them there. I'm a terrible procrastinator. So I know where the shoes are. I'm going to go get them, throw them in the box, declutter them. Here they are. These are truly going this time. So in here we have some soaps. We had bought these as wedding favors for my daughter's wedding, and they smell really good. So the soaps I'm going to keep, but the basket can go. I'm going to go ahead and declutter the basket. So these are just some empty boxes, but they're pretty sturdy, and I think that these would fit inside of the drawers pretty good for organizing. So I'm going to hold on to these for now. I'm nowhere near the point of organizing because I have way too much stuff. When you have as much stuff as I do, you just can't organize it. And I learned that the hard way. I went to the dollar store and I bought a bunch of these little baskets, thinking I was going to organize my kitchen with them. And some of it worked. There's a couple of changes in the kitchen I made that actually worked, but some of it didn't because I just hadn't decluttered enough. So don't make the same mistake I did and go out and buy organizing baskets thinking you're going to magically fix everything and solve everything, because you're not. If you have a lot of stuff, then you need to declutter first. So this was a little basket of goodies that my daughter had put together for me when they got married. They made several baskets for people in the wedding and for parents and things like that. I'm not quite sure what to do with all of it, so I'm just going to leave everything in there, and I'll probably go through that another day. So that's looking better already. And now I can go ahead and start going through the cedar chest. So for this next portion, I found 2 totes, one for my son and one for my daughter. As I go through it, anything that I want to keep, I'll put into these totes for them. I like to be able to get all of their special things together, the things that I want to keep, and have them all in one place instead of having them scattered all over the house. And yes, they're pretty big totes because I have a lot of special memories. And I'm going to go ahead and keep the most special out of this and then the most special out of the other areas. Eventually, these are going to get full and I'm going to have to go through and declutter them even more. I think what I'm going to do is just try to stick what I can on this table and separate it by papers, clothes, that kind of thing. And then I can start going through it. Oh my gosh, so many memories. This is one of my daughter's little sweaters that she wore. But I think I'm going to let this one go. An old t-shirt of my daughter's. I'm going to let this one go. This was a t-shirt from Busch Gardens. I'm going to let this go. So this was actually my nightgown when I was a little girl. And then when I had my daughter, she actually wore this as well. So this has a lot of memories attached to it. So I'm going to hold on to this one. This was my daughter's little coat, but I think I'm going to let this go. This is a little velvet dress that my daughter wore. I think I'm going to hold on to this one. This was another dress that my daughter had wore. I think I'm going to let this one go. Another one of my daughter's dresses. I think I'm going to hold on to this one. This is all tore up, but I'm going to hold on to it. This was my brother's underroof set when we were kids. And he had worn this t-shirt, and then my son wore it as well. This was my son's t-shirt when he played baseball. So I'm going to hold on to this. These were little baby blankets that were made for my kids. They were sewn together. So I'm going to hold on to these. This was my daughter's little cheerleading outfit. I'm going to hold on to this. And here we have a brush set, little nail clippers, little clips for keeping up with pacifiers. I think I'm going to let this go. This was one of my son's towels. I think I'm going to let this go. This was one of my daughter's little outfits. It's got Big Bird on it. I'm going to hold on to this. This is one of my son's onesies. I'm going to hold on to this. This was my son's little outfit. Had the little booties and the hat. I'm going to hold on to this. This was another one of my son's onesies. I'm going to let this one go. This is one of my daughter's dresses. I'm going to hold on to this one. This was my son's. It says Mommy's Little Boy. I'm going to hold on to this one. This was a little skirt outfit my daughter wore. I think I'm going to let this one go. So I'm going to go ahead and start going through the papers. I'll probably just kind of skip over everything that I'm keeping and get rid of. I'll just make piles to show you. Okay, so I've just about gone through all of the stuff, and I am keeping quite a bit of it. And I'm going to show you, though, how much I'm actually getting rid of as well. So my daughter used to attend Awana's. It was at a church that was above our house. And these were her little vests and some of her awards and a few of the things that she made that I'm holding on to. But right here in this tote, it's almost full of other Awana's papers and things that she did when she was little, and that I'm going to be letting go of. So these were school papers of my daughters. I went through, and this is what I decided to keep for now. And then this is also a pile of school papers that I will be getting rid of. These are the items that I will be decluttering today. A lot of the things that I had showed you. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of time to pick all of this up and put it in the correct totes. And the stuff that I'm going to declutter, I'm going to put in a box and get it into my quarantine pile. And then I will be ready to move the cedar chest out of the way because it's also going. So all of the papers that I'm getting rid of actually fill up a whole garbage bag. Most of the stuff that was in the cedar chest was my daughter's. So her tote is almost full, and my son has very little in his. But there will be a lot more sentimental items to come. It feels like I kept way too much, but at the same time, what I was able to get rid of, I'm pretty proud of myself because of how sentimental I am. So to get rid of a whole trash bag full of school papers is pretty good for me. So I was able to fill a whole box to declutter today. And this is where the cedar chest is actually broken on both of the back walls. It's actually coming apart. So it's probably fixable, but we're going to declutter it. So my cedar chest is empty, so I'm going to go ahead and move that. Good grief. A ton of dog toys underneath of there. They're covered in dog fur, so I'm just going to get rid of these. So this space just looks so much better right now. Everything is gone right now. I was able to declutter an entire trash bag full of old school papers of my daughters. I was able to declutter some things from when they were little, and I was able to declutter a cedar chest. So the things in the totes don't have a permanent home right now. The totes are probably going to sit in the living room for now, but this area looks and feels so much better. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy decluttering videos, please subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon.